classmates. Coach, please.
Well, as I look at the box score, pretty fine line. There were a lot of statistics real similar, other than maybe rebounding. I thought that's where we had a little bit of an advantage. I think a 9 rebound differential, but kind of a tale of two halves. I thought we had a tremendous amount of energy in the first half. Got stops, made held Washington down, I believe, to 24 first half points, and then we came out in the second half a little bit flat, as our been known to do. And the key, I thought, was getting back into it after a timeout. We were down 1 and made some plays, hit some shots when we needed to, and we got some big time stops. I think our kids played just about as well as they could defensively, including the rebounding from start to finish. There was that little stretch where Washington started to chip into the lead, and I think there was 6 straight points in transition. And if we keep them out of transition, that was a real solid night for us. And then, as you see, they only had 5 assists. So we were doing something right defensively, and it was fun to be able to recapture that momentum and hold on to the lead. These guys made some big plays next to me.
Questions for those big players over here, front row?
Dakari, this is one of the only games of the season that you went without sleeves, and obviously that corner 3 is your shot. What was going through your mind when Jordan gave you that pass, and just kind of how big was that shot? Just kind of recant that shot for us.
It was actually big for me. I was just thinking about going back to my fundamentals, having my elbow in, and just putting arc on the ball. Me and coach, we worked on shooting with arc. Said I had to put more arc on it, so I was just thinking about. That was all I was thinking about. Just putting more arc on the ball and going back to my fundamentals.
If I could add to that, I spoke to our team after the game. I thought that might have been the play of the game. And, we watched our film against Stanford, and, we've got a lot of faith in Jordan. But one of the points of emphasis this week was people are going to collapse and over-rotate to you. And, people say maybe he's struggling. That's been a point of discussion in Salt Lake, at least. The expectations have been so high. And the fact of the matter is that at this point in the season, you're not going to be able to make a lot of plays. They're going to make you make the extra pass. And we talked about it for 2 days, Monday, Tuesday. We talked about it on the board before the game, that was going to be the difference, is somebody having the trust and faith in a teammate to give up maybe what was, and Jordan could have shot that, would have been considered a good shot. He made a great pass to the corner for Dakari, and I thought it was really fitting and on cue for our team. Obviously, moving forward, we're going to need to do it collectively. We don't have individual players, and I think the strength of our team has been the team, and it couldn't have happened at a better time.
Third row here, and then in the back, please.
Coach, when Princeton picked up his 4th foul, you put in Dakari there. Was that a move because Princeton had that 4th foul, or was that to get Dakari and his ability to hit that outside shot into the game?
Yeah, it didn't have much to do with foul trouble. I believe in Dakari an awful lot, and we spent some time when we were in the Bay Area. I think it was St. Mary's Gym. Is it St. Mary's Gym? Working on some shots and some confidence, trying to build some confidence, as he talked about, with his elbow in. And I had one of those similar experiences a year ago with Jared Dubois, and he hit a big shot, if you remember, against Cal in the semis or quarterfinals, I guess it was. And I just, we needed a shooter on the floor in an offensive possession to spread it out. Princeton brings a heck of a lot to the table, but perimeter shooting is not one of them, and I thought that opened up the floor. This floor was spaced. They couldn't pack off with anybody, and he stepped right up and on cue.
Back row.
Delon, you guys have been in almost every game this year, had some late game collapses. When they took the lead with a minute and a half left, anything was said in the huddle, or how did you guys regroup and get that lead back? And what was different this time as opposed to some of the other times you've had troubles?
I think we just kind of stayed aggressive, and we just wanted to get a good shot of Stanford. I think our last couple possessions, we had some forced shots, so we just wanted to get a good shot, and we was able. I think Jordan got fouled, cutting through the lane, so he knocked on his free throw, so that helped.
Second row.
Delon, the team came out a little flat to start the second half. You kind of turned it on and kind of started attacking the basket. Was it something that the defense was doing, just giving you more looks, or were you just determined to take over the game?
No, I think I just saw some open lanes, so I tried to attack, and it worked out for me. So I just tried to stay aggressive. They were kind of packing the lane in me, So I just tried to see the opportunity. I kind of took it.
Any additional questions for the student athletes, and then we'll go to the third row.
Coach, you went heavy to Jeremy Olsen in the second half over Dallin Wyszynski. What was the thought process behind that?
Jeremy over Dallin? Well, I mean, I thought we put Jeremy in a tough situation. He's probably our best scorer in the post. We kept throwing him the ball in the second half off the lane line, and it put him in a tough way. We've never really thrown extended post catches to Jeremy. So part of it wasn't his fault. He had some turnovers. But I just, I like the fact Jeremy was rebounding the basketball at the defensive end. A lot of times maybe right about the time we would make the shift, throw Dallin in there, it would be for rebounding and defense, and I thought Jeremy was doing an adequate job, collecting some defensive rebounds for us. Those two, I think maybe a little too different, completely different players in terms of some offensive ability and some defensive ability, and I thought we needed a little bit of punch, maybe riding with Jeremy a little bit longer on the offensive end. Dallin got in some foul trouble as well, so we had to be careful early on with that.
Any last questions for the DeLon or Dakari? Second row, right here.
DeLon, you've obviously faced Arizona 2 times this year. What's kind of your focus going into this game tomorrow, knowing that they've had a day of rest and just kind of, what are you expecting to do?
As a team?
Yes, sorry.
I think we have to rebound. They're one of the top teams in our conference in rebounding. They all crash, so I think if we rebound and play good team basketball, we have a chance.
Okay, gentlemen, thank you.
Mike,
Coach,
do you have a question?
Awesome.
I'll be okay, thanks.
Come on, Mike. You're one of our foundation pieces at home. We can't leave you.
Thank you, Coach. Dakari, can you just talk about your shot? Was that how it ranks with the biggest shots of your life?
Yeah, this season, that was a big shot for me. Just coming in and then, like I said, just shooting with fundamentals and just giving the extra boost for that last section, 4 segments, and just having us come out, and then that was really a big shot.
Okay, we'll keep Coach here for another minute or two. Players, thank you. Student athletes. Up front.
Just give us a rundown of what you think was made keys to your victory tonight.
Well, I really think we were locked in defensively. We switched up. We had a couple different zones that we played throughout the course of the night. C.J. Wilcox is such a good basketball player, and you leave that guy open. I think he's probably our best shooter in the league, pure shooter. Although we're facing another one tomorrow in Nick Johnson, which is a little spooky. But I think C.J., that's what he wants to do. So we switched a lot of guys out, on a normal situation where they would set a big on little down screen to try to get him open. We took the chance on switching out with some of our bigs and not letting him catch on rhythm. And I think, looking at the stats for Washington to have 5 assists, I think that would probably be the storyline for the game, is we didn't maybe let their offense run on the cylinders. I watched them, they had a clinic against Oregon State. There's been a number of teams, when they opened up league play this year at Arizona State, that was an absolute clinic offensively. And we put a lot of pressure on leads and turns, and then, as I said, we just tried to keep the ball out of CJ's hands as best as we could.
In the back, please.
Coach, what have you learned the first 2 times playing Arizona about what it takes for your team to execute offensively, because they're such a fine defensive team?
Well, Arizona, you look statistically, is without a doubt the best defensive team in our league. They hold teams to percentages that are not really in the same neighborhood as a lot of the other 11 teams. Points scored, they're real physical. They're solid. I think Coach Miller, they talk a lot. They've obviously got offensive firepower, but that's what's making them an elite team in college basketball this year. Is you've got a really talented group that's committed to playing defense. So, first go round in Arizona, we absolutely got pounded on the glass. I think it was maybe 20 points, offensive rebounds. We couldn't keep them off the glass. actually a little bit of an eye-opening situation for us. We spent a couple of weeks working on rebounding, you know, and it takes a lot of things. There's certain guys that need to block out. There's certain guys that maybe just need to go get the ball. But there's, you know, a lot of 50-50 balls, and I think some of it's a mindset. It's a little bit of an eye-opening loss for us there because we got them to miss shots, but we just couldn't keep them from, you know, it looked pretty good on paper. We held them to 33%, but they were 1 for 3 every time they went down the floor and ended up scoring on their second offensive rebound. That's, you know, that's just Russian roulette. That'll kill you every time. I thought second time around, we focused on the glass. We actually won the rebounding game. You know, missed some free throws going down the stretch and had some costly turnovers. We've been close in both games. Actually, we've been close in 3 years, as I told our team. It's the one team in the Pac-12 that we have not won a basketball game against, and we got a lot of booby prizes along the way, consolation prizes and attaboys, and way to go, you competed with them. But we've been close both times this year. We were close, you know, in 4 previous games. We got to figure it out, and you know, we'll look at a lot of film tonight. The good news is it's just after 2, so we've got the rest of the day. We know who we're playing. A year ago, we were playing later in the evening and kind of scrambling and not sure exactly how it was going to go. But we're familiar with them, and you know, hopefully we can make the plays necessary to compete and get a W.
Final question right here.
Coach, what kind of pressure was your team under as they came into this game, and what do you think their demeanor will be as they take on Arizona?
Well, I don't know about pressure. You know, everybody in the room knows we've had an awful lot of close losses, been in some ball games, and I'm not a big fan of being the favorite in any game. I've always liked the underdog role. I think this game, you know, not that I pay attention to point spreads and that kind of thing, obviously for the, you know, for reasons that are known to you guys, but I don't like being the favorite. I don't think our guys like being the favorite, and you know, we had an opportunity, I thought, maybe to do what we should have done in a number of games this year. You get a lead, you got to be able to, you know, put your foot on the throttle moving forward. But what was your question again?
What's their demeanor heading into
demeanor.
Arizona? Yeah.
Well, you know, that's what I was blabbing about. We're obviously not the favorite against Arizona, and we should come out fighting, be ready to compete against a really good basketball team. You know, there's a lot of Arizona fans that come. It's the school, I think, that travels as well as anybody. There'll be a lot of anticipation for it, and here we are, as we have been in the previous games against them, the underdog. So I like that element. Don't have nearly the, you know, the nervous feeling maybe that I had leading into this game, and hopefully our guys are feeling the same thing.
Thank you, Coach. See you tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.